Why is it being foreclosed?
Because I can't pay the bills that I owe.
Kevin Spacey's unexpected return to the spotlight has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, raising serious questions about accountability and power in the industry. The red carpet at Cannes has seen its share of controversies, but nothing prepared the film world for what happened this week. Kevin Spacey, the disgraced Oscar winner who vanished from Hollywood after a cascade of sexual misconduct allegations, just received a Lifetime Achievement Award. And the story behind who orchestrated this comeback reveals Hollywood's most uncomfortable truth. It takes a lot to upstage the eye-catching dresses on the famous La Croisette in Cannes. But the most outrageous moment of this year's film festival has been the return of Kevin Spacey. Even more shocking was the decision to hand a Lifetime Achievement Award for decades of artistic brilliance to the 65-year-old actor who has been accused of inappropriate behavior across 3 decades. Those highly publicized accounts included actor Anthony Rapp alleging he was only 14 when Spacey pressed his groin against him. Actor Richard Dreyfuss's son Harry claimed that Spacey preyed on him when he was just 18. Even though the double Oscar winner has successfully defended civil and criminal claims, new accusers have continued to come forward. Yet, at a glitzy dinner at the Carlton Hotel on the seafront in the south of France, he was given the chance to rail against being blacklisted and to boast, "I'm still standing." So who would give the actor best known for The Usual Suspects and American Beauty this platform? The award ceremony was linked to Sharon Stone, who faced backlash last year for calling Kevin Spacey a genius and backing his return. She also supports the Better World Fund, which presented the award at a private Cannes event. The audience paid up to £5,000 for a seat to be at the event aimed at raising money for the philanthropic organization, which uses cinema and art at the service of humanity. It seems to be part of the latest concerted attempt to bring the House of Cards star back from exile. The officials at the Cannes Film Festival made it clear that neither the award nor Spacey's first appearance there since 2016 had anything to do with them. The organizers put out a statement saying, "The Festival de Cannes had no involvement in and was not informed of either the invitation extended to Mr. Spacey or the award presented during this private event." During his speech at Cannes, the actor complained, "Who would have ever thought that honoring someone who has been exonerated in every single courtroom he's ever walked into would be thought of as a brave idea?" The truth reveals a more complex picture. When Sharon Stone, Liam Neeson, and Stephen Fry stated publicly last May that Spacey should be rehabilitated, it wasn't well received. Afterwards, Sharon admitted, "People are mad at me for standing up for him." Since then, other stars have come forward with their tales of how unpleasant it was to work with the notorious actor. Australian actor Guy Pearce claimed this year that he was targeted by Spacey when they made the 1997 classic LA Confidential together. Pearce said, "I was scared of Kevin. He's quite aggressive, extremely charming. I was young and susceptible." Spacey denied the claims in a video, blasting back, "Here you are now on a mission, some 28 years later, after I've been through hell and back." Last month, Scottish actor David Heyman remembered having a word with Spacey about his behavior while shooting the 2000 movie Ordinary Decent Criminal in Dublin. He claimed, "Kevin Spacey is not a nice human being. He was being terrible to everyone." David alleged that he told the American star, "You are ruining everyone's lives. You are not being supportive and you are reducing people to tears. You are chasing young men around Dublin. You're not being professional." Last year, Scottish actor Rory Cannon claimed he was pursued by Spacey while working at the Old Vic Theatre in South London. He alleged that Spacey, who was artistic director of the famous theatre, touched him intimately without consent in 2013 when he was age 21. Rory has brought a civil case against the Hollywood actor at London's High Court, which is yet to be resolved. In the Channel 4 documentary titled Spacey Unmasked in May 2024, 10 men made accusations of sexually inappropriate behavior. The claims included allegations that he'd pleased himself in front of a wannabe actor in a cinema and pushed his groin into the face of an Old Vic employee. The star denied doing anything illegal and was found not guilty on all charges, but did admit to clumsy approaches. With accusations still swirling around, it's hard to imagine a major studio hiring Spacey. The streaming giant Netflix is yet to release the actor's portrayal of the American intellectual Gore Vidal 8 years after the film, titled Gore, was made. The star was so toxic that British director Sir Ridley Scott reshot all the shamed actor's scenes in 2017's All the Money in the World, replacing him with Christopher. After being dropped by Netflix and replaced in major films, Kevin Spacey is trying to return to Hollywood. He's set to appear in The Awakening and recently starred in Peter 5:8. While some in the industry remain distant, supporters like Elton John and producer Jeffrey Mark believe he'll make a comeback, even win another Oscar. A jury in a civil case in 2022 also found that Rapp had not proven his allegations. Spacey and his supporters argue that these legal successes prove his innocence. But the truth is more complicated. Spacey has admitted to mistreating other men. After Anthony Rapp made his claims in 2017, Spacey's publicist said that the actor was seeking evaluation and treatment. In a 2024 interview with Piers Morgan, the actor confessed to bad behavior and being too handsy. The House of Cards producers sacked Spacey because he was ill with compulsive sexual behavior disorder. Kevin Spacey was sued for £22 million after his show was canceled, nearly bankrupting him. He had to sell his house to cover legal fees. Now, after treatment, he says he's a better person. Some, like Jeffrey Mark, believe he deserves a second chance, even if he's no longer a young leading man. But the real surprise isn't just Spacey's comeback. It's how Hollywood helps powerful people return, while others are left out. The industry talks about supporting victims, but still protects its own behind the scenes. Kevin Spacey's comeback isn't just about second chances. It's about power and connections. With support from stars like Sharon Stone and Elton John and a fancy £5,000-a-seat dinner at Cannes, this was a planned move to fix his image. The award he got wasn't just for old work. It was a sign that Hollywood is ready to welcome him back. The big question isn't if he deserves it, but who gets to decide. Hollywood says it has changed, but Spacey's return shows that fame and money can still protect the powerful, and this might only be the beginning of his return to the spotlight.
Ooh, and I thought my jokes were bad.
And you know what? She can't stand the sight of me.
We remember Heath Ledger for his talent, his charm, and his unforgettable roles, but behind the fame was a young man searching for peace. This is the story Hollywood never wanted to tell. Heath Ledger was one of the brightest stars in Hollywood. People loved him for his talent, his smile, and his big heart. But behind the camera, something strange and sad was happening. After playing the Joker in The Dark Knight, everything changed. He gave the world an amazing performance, but it may have cost him more than we ever knew. Today, we will uncover the secrets of Heath Ledger's final days. Some say the truth was hidden, others believe it was too dark to face. What really happened? Let's find out. Heath was born in 1979 in Perth, Australia. When he was 10, he played Peter Pan in a school play. He loved acting, he worked hard, and got small roles in Australian TV shows. When he was 19, he moved to the US to act in movies. You might know him from 10 Things I Hate About You, The Patriot, or A Knight's Tale. By the time he was 26, he got an Oscar nomination for Brokeback Mountain. People saw he was very talented. In 2007, Heath started acting in The Dark Knight. He played the Joker, a scary bad guy. But this Joker wasn't silly. He was dark and creepy. Heath wanted the part to be perfect. He stayed alone in a hotel room for weeks. He practiced voices and wrote in a notebook as the Joker. He said the Joker was a crazy clown who didn't care about anyone. People were amazed by how real he made the character. But something bad was happening to Heath. Playing the Joker was really hard for Heath. He couldn't sleep. I probably slept an average of 2 hours a night, he said. I couldn't stop thinking. He took sleeping pills. When one didn't work, he took another. But he still stayed awake. His friend and coach, who stayed with him, said he'd find Heath walking around the apartment late at night. Heath would say, "I can't sleep. Man!" Even after filming ended, the sleepless nights didn't stop. He was so tired, but his mind was still going. He once told a reporter that his body was exhausted, but his brain kept racing. He also got very sick while filming the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Some people on set thought he had walking pneumonia. But Heath kept going, even when he should have rested. After Heath died, people found the notebook he kept while playing the Joker. Inside were strange drawings, creepy jokes, and pictures of clowns. There were notes about the Joker's thoughts and quotes from scary characters. On the last page, it simply said, "Bye-bye." Some think this notebook showed how deep he went into the role. It was like he became the Joker in real life. Others believe it was a quiet way of saying goodbye, a final message from a man who was hurting inside. On January 22nd, 2008, Heath died in his apartment in New York City. He was only 28. People all over the world were shocked. That morning, his housekeeper thought he was sleeping, but when a massage therapist came and couldn't wake him, they found him on the floor. Next to him was a movie script and a phone number for a director. When the director found out, he said he was so sad he collapsed. Doctors said Heath died because he took 6 different kinds of medicine. Some were for pain, some for sleep, and some for stress. They said it was an accident, but still very sad. Heath was also very sad about other things. He and his girlfriend Michelle Williams had broken up. They had a little girl named Matilda, who was only 2. Heath missed Michelle and missed being with his daughter. He wanted to hold her, play with her, and be her dad, but he felt far away from her. His friend said Heath was desperately sad. His sister called him the night before he died and told him to stop taking so many pills. He told her, "I'm fine. I know what I'm doing." But he wasn't fine. He was hurting inside and trying to deal with it all alone. After Heath died, people noticed strange things. In The Dark Knight, the Joker said creepy lines like, "Why so serious?" Now those lines sound even scarier, knowing what Heath was going through. In his last movie, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Heath's character travels through magical mirrors and disappears into other worlds. After Heath died, 3 other actors, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell, had to finish his role by turning into different versions of the same character. It was almost like Heath had disappeared into a different world too. Was that just a strange accident, or was it something more? No one really knows. After Heath passed away, Hollywood said kind things, but not many talked about the pressure he faced or how hard the Joker role was. Some people think Hollywood didn't want to talk about the dangers of mixing medicine or how much stress actors go through. Heath's dad later said it was totally his fault. That was hard for him to say, but he wanted people to know the truth. Even though Heath is gone, people still talk about him. His Joker is called one of the best performances ever. He even won an Oscar after he died. Heath showed that acting is more than pretending. It takes heart, hard work, and sometimes pain. He gave it everything, and people will always remember him. Heath's story is very sad, but it also teaches us something. Even happy-looking people can be hurting inside. Even strong people need help. If you're feeling tired or sad, don't stay quiet. Talk to someone. Heath tried to handle it all by himself, but he needed more help than he got. We should take care of each other. And ourselves. What really happened to Heath Ledger? Was it the role, the pressure, the medicine, or all of it? We might never know the full truth. But we know this. Heath gave the world a gift, a powerful performance, a memory that will never fade. Sometimes behind big smiles, there is pain, and sometimes people who give the most need the most help. Hollywood may not have wanted this story to come out, but now you know. And you won't forget. Subscribe now before this video disappears like the truth once did.
Amanda again! Now I really want to make sure you see every moment of my new show premiering tonight in the all-new Snick. So I'm going to clean your TV screen with my toothbrush.
The Amanda Show, tonight in the big new Snick.
I was never open about this before, but I actually had blepharoplasty surgery on the skin folds in the corners of my eyes.
She made us laugh, but no one saw her pain, the untold story of Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes. To millions, she was the bubbly, hilarious teen star who made us laugh on Nickelodeon. From all that to The Amanda Show, she lit up screens across the country with her charm, comedic timing, and undeniable talent. But behind the laughs, fame, and red carpet smiles, Amanda was quietly falling apart. This is the story of a child star who had it all: fame, fortune, adoration, and lost it just as quickly. A tragic journey through mental illness, addiction, and the dark side of Hollywood. This is the heartbreaking truth of Amanda Bynes. She was born Amanda Laura Bynes on April 3, 1986 in Thousand Oaks, California. The youngest of 3 children, Amanda showed early signs of star power. By the age of 7, she was already performing in commercials and local stage productions. But everything changed when she landed a spot on Nickelodeon's All That in 1996. At just 10 years old, she was already a standout. Her sketch comedy skills and infectious energy made her a fan favorite. Soon after, she was given her own show, The Amanda Show, which became a staple of early 2000s childhoods. Audiences adored her. She wasn't just acting, she was the comedy. Hollywood took notice. In 2002, she starred alongside Frankie Muniz in Big Fat Liar. More movie roles followed: What a Girl Wants, She's the Man, Hairspray. By the mid-2000s, Amanda Bynes was everywhere.
Now, 2 friends are on a mission.
Hey, remember me? I wrote Big Fat Liar.
She was smart, funny, relatable, a role model to young girls, a breath of fresh air in a world of Hollywood drama. But beneath the surface, Amanda was struggling. As Amanda transitioned from teen star to adult actress, the pressure mounted. By 2007, she seemed to be on top of the world, starring in Hairspray with John Travolta, Zac Efron, and Michelle Pfeiffer. The film was a box office hit. Amanda's performance was praised. But behind the scenes, she was beginning to feel lost. The industry had changed. Roles weren't coming in like they used to. Amanda was growing up, but the world still saw her as the funny girl from Nickelodeon. Typecasting, perfectionism, and the grind of Hollywood were wearing her down. Privately, she was becoming more withdrawn. Former colleagues described her as increasingly isolated and haunted by the pressure to be perfect. In 2010, at just 24 years old, Amanda tweeted something that shocked fans. "I've retired from acting." She shared, "Being an actress isn't as fun as it may seem. If I don't love something anymore, I stop doing it. I don't love acting anymore, so I've stopped doing it. I know 24 is a young age to retire, but you heard it here first." No one saw it coming. It felt sudden, but for Amanda, it was the culmination of years of exhaustion, identity struggles, and an industry that often values profit over people. She would later admit she was unhappy with how she looked on screen. She hated her performances in certain films. She didn't feel good enough. She once said in an interview, "I literally couldn't stand to see myself. It made me want to stop everything." And that's when things started to spiral. What followed was a public unraveling that saddened fans around the world. In 2012, Amanda Bynes was arrested for a DUI in West Hollywood. Months later, she was charged with 2 hit-and-run incidents. By 2013, she was making headlines not for her acting, but for increasingly erratic behavior.
You all remember back in early April when Amanda Bynes was arrested in West Hollywood for a DUI after sideswiping a car, right? Well, yesterday she was officially charged.
She tweets, "I can't help but laugh at all of you writing fake stories about me. I was not in any hit and run. I don't drink, so DUI is fake." She infamously tweeted about wanting rapper Drake to murder her lady parts. She shaved part of her head. She was seen talking to herself, behaving strangely, and isolating from friends and family. "I wasn't being insincere. I was saying, 'Murder my vagina lady parts,'" Bynes told Madison. "I was being serious, but I was also on drugs." In July 2013, Amanda was hospitalized after allegedly starting a small fire in a stranger's driveway. That incident was the final alarm bell. She was placed on a psychiatric hold. Doctors diagnosed her with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia symptoms. Her parents were granted a conservatorship, taking control of her finances and medical decisions. Suddenly, Amanda Bynes wasn't a starlet anymore. She was a headline, a cautionary tale. Behind closed doors, Amanda was living a very different life from the one we remembered. Friends who tried to reach her were often turned away or left in silence. One anonymous source close to the family said, "We knew something was wrong, but she was impossible to reach. It was like she was trapped in her own world." From 2013 onward, Amanda largely disappeared from the public eye. She was under her parents' conservatorship for nearly 9 years. During this time, she sought treatment, enrolled in the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, FIDM, and tried to reclaim a sense of normalcy. There were moments of hope. In 2018, Amanda gave a rare interview with Paper magazine. She appeared healthy, composed, and reflective. She admitted to abusing Adderall, marijuana, and alcohol during her spiral. She also expressed remorse for her past behavior.